Hey, what's up, everybody? Good morning. Sorry, I didn't put my mic on yet. Forgot about that. See if that's all right. What's up, everybody? Let me change the mic. My apologies. It should be better. Okay. What's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Thursday edition of Morning Scone presented by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, Parish Construction and Roofing, need Northeast. Go to Brock, need a roof, call Parish. Unique physique and unique aesthetics and wellness, Restored Motions, restoredmotions.com, and Bocock Brothers Premium Cigars. Code MAT15, MAT15, MAT15 for 15% off your order. Okay. What's up, y'all? Good morning. Glad to have y'all here. Great first day from Radio Row at the Super Bowl. Man, Demario Davis, Marshall Faulk, Fred Smoot was awesome, as always. Who else do we have? Clinton Yates was really good. We had a ton. But I'm blanking on that. Anyway, great first day from Radio Row for us. We'll be back at it today with a gigantic lineup. Today is I'll tell you what we already have confirmed. Evan Cohen from ESPN Radio, Andre Reed, Dan Dockich, AJ Dillon, Bobby Okereke, Michelle Smallman, Michael Brockers, Matt Sims, Charlie Smith, Ryan Leaf. I mean, we are loaded up today already. So really excited about today's show. So hopefully y'all will be able to join us. Lane Kiffin met with reporters on Wednesday, which was the traditional signing day. Kind of recap the class, a few takeaways from Kiffin, and I did run through a lot of this audio on Locked on LSU. If you want to check out that episode, I think probably the most interesting thing he said was here. I'll play this sound for you if you didn't hear it. I think this was probably the most interesting thing he said when, let's see, he was talking about NIL and the role that NIL played in this class. There were two things. It was the volume, like how many guys they signed, and then the role NIL played. This is the comment on the role NIL played.
I'm not going, nor will I ever really get into details exactly, obviously, of the resources and the breakdown and how we use them, but just felt in the plan that there was a really good plan here in place and an alignment from the top down. So number one, the resources to do it, which is important, like I referred to, but then a plan of how do you use the resources, which is not our expertise contractually and NIL contractually, third parties, and then to combine that, which I think what is our specialty is the evaluation of the players, because again, you can have money, just like you see in any sports and salary caps, and do you evaluate the guys really well? Do you not just get the top end guys? Do you get the next tier, and do you get them for really good deals? By the way that you evaluate them, by the way that your scouting department evaluates and your coaches, and I think that's our specialty. So putting those two things combined, I think puts us where we are.
I think that's the best way to put it. His transparency and candor in the press conference, I thought was great. So he said, basically, to paraphrase, he's like, we're not going to tell you how much we spent, but we had resources to spend. And yeah, you can go get the top guys, which we did, Levitt, Seaton, those guys. But then the next tier, and are you getting them for good value? And that's all recruiting and evaluation. So I loved that answer. And it's true, because just think about it, because this is mirroring pro sports, right? Like he said, like a salary cap, like you have a budget, whatever you want to say, and you have to use that budget to go buy your roster. Okay, well, you have to evaluate appropriately, because if you go dump a ton of, the New Orleans Saints go and spend a ton of money making Jarris Byrd the highest paid safety in NFL history, and then he's a total bust. Well, guess what? You just gutted your cap for that. If you go you're the Jets and you take Zach Wilson with the number 2 pick, and he busts, well, guess what? You just wasted a gigantic draft resource and that draft capital on a player that didn't help you. So it's interesting, because he's saying, like, yeah, it's great to have the resource, and you have it because you have alignment and buying and boosters and administration and all that stuff. But how you allocate those resources based on your evaluation is really key, and it thinks that's what they're really good at. Now, time will tell. Like, they got to go win games, and we'll see if they do. But I mean, he's got a pretty good track record of doing this in the portal. So, interesting stuff. Okay, let's say some good morning, y'all. Please smash the like button if you would subscribe to the channel. Facebook, like the page, share the post. Rocco, Tiger Poppy. Hey, Glenn, good morning from the 985. Hey, Michael, how difficult was it for you not being at the press conference? Anything you would have wanted to ask him? Um, so very candidly, Michael, like before I go into a press conference, I always prep before I go. So I go with a list of probably 4 or 5 questions that I would ask, knowing that I'm not going to get the microphone to ask 4 or 5 questions, but there's really a good chance that other people will ask one or more of the questions that I want to ask. And knowing I wasn't going to be there, I didn't do that. I'm so deep into this, so I haven't thought about what actually I would have asked. I certainly um, would ask something along the lines of is there a position they feel like they didn't address appropriately or something they wanted to do that they didn't. I'm glad he talked a lot about the quarterbacks. He did confirm something we've been saying here for a while, and I told you that my information had been that they were hoping Levitt would do 7-on-7s in spring, and Lane actually said that point blank that Levitt would participate in 7-on-7, so I got that one right. Um, I might have asked him how much they spent, just point blank, knowing he wouldn't give me a number, but um, just to see what the answer would be. Morning, Matt and Drew. Watch Lane's presser. I had the next Misfit shirt. When asked about going after players that left campus without signing, he said, I don't really do well with no. I love that. So he's talking about getting on a plane to go see Levitt and Seton when he went on a plane, saw them. But yeah, I mean his determination in recruiting those guys, I thought was great. Hey, Brad, Nick, good morning. How about it? Opening day for LSU softball. Tarina's squad will be taking on NC State today over at Tiger Park. Get out and support the ladies. Cajun Y, good morning. Chris, really like Kelly, but Kiffin is different. Some might say he's just different. Hey, Brian, good morning. Back on the road. Okay. Louisiana has 7 quarterbacks played in the Super Bowl, second only to California. That's interesting, right? Well, Peyton, Eli, Jake Delhomme, Terry Bradshaw, David Woodley. Was David Woodley from Louisiana? Are we counting David Woodley? I know he played for the Dolphins. I don't know where. Okay, he's from Shreveport. Okay, yep. So Woodley. So I'm up to 5. I'm missing 2 that are probably obvious. Well, no. Wyatt Tittle wouldn't have played in the Super Bowl. He would have played in the NFL championship. 5. Who am I missing? I got 5 right off the top. That's pretty good. Morning, Matt. Wild that an Ole Miss booster judge will decide Chambliss' fate. Well, I mean, we all knew that was going to happen. I mean, that's where this was always headed. It's exactly what happened last year with Xavier Watts getting a TRO to play at Miami, and that's what happened with Charles Bediako in Alabama basketball. That's the path that all these guys are following. The NCAA is not going to grant them eligibility, so they go to court, they get a TRO, and they play. Biggest takeaway from Kiffin's press conference. Yeah, just talked about that a little bit. I think it was how much he hammered on the importance of their evaluation, which is something we've talked about, but it's interesting to hear him say it. Hey, Phil, good morning. Leon, good morning. Brad, how many guys are Radio Row? Oh, man. I mean, it's packed in there, but I will tell you that This venue is smaller than the Montreal Convention Center where we were last year. I mean, that was so giant and so much space that, um, very candidly, we initially were rejected, denied a spot on Radio Row. And thankfully, we have some people in high places that advocated for us. It's one of the great things about coming to events like this is you make a lot of connections. And so I don't need to say their names, but thanks to them, who they are. And when stations pulled out for whatever reasons that had been given a spot, financial or otherwise, we were able to slide in. So all that to say, there's a lot of people who were rejected, who applied for spots that didn't get them because of the space issues here. So it's weird. Listen, I've told you, like, I love San Francisco. I love the Bay Area. Um, I love coming here. But this is just, I mean, it's the Super Bowl, but San Francisco is just not bending to the NFL. Like New Orleans rolled out the red carpet for everything, right? Um, this is like, okay, you can come have your event here with these, parameters and all that sort of stuff. Uh, like it's just not really conducive, man. With the player availability an hour away, and I mean, you had to get on a bus at 7 a.m. Like the buses, it's still dark out here. You have to get on a bus in 9 minutes, bus an hour to go to player availability for one, then get on the bus, go to the next stop to go to the other team's player availability, then bus an hour back. It's like it's in New Orleans, you just like walk to the room. You know what I mean? Um, so anyway, the question was how many guys are at Radio Row. I don't know the count. I would guess in that room probably 1,000 people. It's a lot. I mean, and they're jam packed in there, and there's certainly more than 1,000 media that are credentialed. But anyway, morning, Matt. Let's see. Good morning. If LSU fires McMahon, do you think they would consider bringing back Will Wade? No. Aaron, good morning. Corey, good morning. What do you think about Chambliss being denied again? That's not surprising. Like the NCAA was never going to approve his waiver. Like the NCAA was never going to approve his waiver. This has always been about like he is going to go to a judge and get a TRO, which is going to happen. So I fully expect Trinidad Chambliss will be playing for Ole Miss next year, unless he chooses to go pro, which at this point, I think that ship sailed. Good morning from Utah. Sean, good morning. There we go. There we go. The magic dust. Hey, Fred, good morning. I have not run into Ocho. I'm keeping my eyes out. I saw Channing Crowder yesterday, so I'm hoping I get CRC around here too. But and that because he'll be able to introduce me to Ocho. We can have that convo. Hey, Chris, good morning. Brad, did you walk around the city? So no, and Brad, I was just thinking that, man, like I'm bummed because like, this would be the time I can do it. So it's 6:53 in the morning here. My first interview on Radio Row I'm recording is at 8:45 Pacific. So so I've got another hour and 45 minutes before I have to be over there. So like this is normally the time. Like I've been up since 4:15. So which would be 6:15 Central. Like I don't set an alarm, I just wake up. So so I've just been doing stuff for the website and prepping and all sort of stuff. But normally that's when I would go just walk for an hour and because I'll just walk around and see what I see and navigate and get my bearings and all that sort of stuff. But it's pitch black. Like it's 6:53 and it's just now starting like to be a little bit of daybreak. So like it won't be daylight till after 7 a.m. And so by that point, I'm gonna need to be getting ready to get over to the because I'm not gonna have an hour to go walk and then get back, shower, dress, and all that, and then walk to the convention center. So the walking I've done has been like walking to the convention center, walking back, walked to dinner last night. So another cool thing I got to do last night. So I went to dinner with Jeff Martindale, who is he's the head of ESPN Radio affiliate relations. So he's like the conduit for all the ESPN radio affiliates around the country with ESPN. Jeff's great. So he and I went and had dinner last night. I went to a steak place. The I think it's at the second oldest restaurant in San Francisco. It was called John's Grill. Um, cool place, tiny, compact. You can tell them it's been there for, I think, 1908. It's been there since 1908. So more than 100 years. Cool spot. Had a 28-day dry aged bone-in ribeye. The steak was better than Epic Steak, which I had the last time we were here. But the ambiance at Epic Steak, this big glass restaurant under the Golden Gate Bridge, was a 10 out of 10. But I like this sort of old, quaint place. Anyway, but then after that, Jeff got me into a taping of This Was Sports Center. So Rich Eisen is doing a podcast called This Was Sports Center, where he's talking to some of the OGs from Sports Center. And so he had Chris Berman last night. So it was an hour-long live taping of the podcast at a theater that sat about 200 people. And so Jeff got me in. So he and I went to dinner and then walked to that theater and caught that live podcast taping, which was pretty cool. Morning, Scone. Is Kiffin ducking you? You go to the Super Bowl Eagles presser. I knew that was going to happen. Knowing I was going to be gone on signing day, I knew it. My only hope was that he would have delayed it till next week. But you try to get Marshall on your show weekly. By the way, I told him. So talking about Marshall Falk, I told him, listen, if we can be a resource, let me know. I'd love to do something like that with him. I think that's up to him. I don't know how willing he's going to be to do something weekly or what he's wanting to do. But of course, I put Marshall Falk on my show every week. Hey, Leslie, good morning. Abner, good morning. Enjoyed AFR yesterday. Have a blessed day. Thank you, Abner. Same to you. Appreciate the kind words. Loved my interview with DeMario. Loved my interview with Fred Smoot. I don't know if y'all caught it, but so DeMario, when he walked up, his wife had the arm sleeves. So he had this one, which I love. And then he said, and this is a one of one. It's a man of God arm sleeve, because the NFL obviously won't let him wear it. So he had that one made and brought it for me. So, as if that guy wasn't already my favorite New Orleans Saint, just solidified that forever. Love that guy. Bro, there was a guy in a polar bear suit. I don't know why, but there was a guy in a polar bear suit walking around yesterday, like a giant polar bear suit. I put it on social media. It's just whatever. Hey, Shelby, good morning. While I do feel Lane is uncomfortable talking to the media, he's more transparent than I thought he would be. You can hear the Saban influence every time he speaks. Absolutely true. Makes me have a little more pride in the 225 when I hear Lane talk about how much he's enjoyed being here so far. Listen, you could have your pot shots and your jokes and all that sort of stuff. Oxford, Mississippi is a wonderful town. It's quaint. It's a great place if you'd want to raise a family. It's clean. It's safe. The university's at the core, but it's 20,000 people and it's pretty remote. You get off the interstate and you drive for an hour till you get into Oxford. There's just not a lot there. And so when you think about Lane, and it's not a knock, it's just small town living. And some people like that, and some people don't like that. And while I think Lane really enjoyed Oxford and enjoyed Ole Miss at this time being there, I do think being in a bigger city, which is hard to think of Baton Rouge in that sense, but compared to Oxford, it is. You're talking about 500,000 people in Greater Baton Rouge, and you have restaurants and nightlife and things to do around, and it's different in that sense. And I think that's something that Lane and his family certainly wants. I know Layla for sure, based on what I understand, she was living in Manhattan Beach. She was in LA and went from LA to Oxford. Those are worlds apart, So Baton Rouge is a better I'm not saying Baton Rouge is LA. What I'm saying is Baton Rouge offers more just stuff to do than Oxford, which is why I think he's happy here. Brett, Bubba, Braden, the one time you're on. Hey, Bob, good morning. Did you notice, Kiffin, I've said it over and over again, said on AFR, said on my podcast, I've said it over and over. He doesn't say Ole Miss. He'll say the place we were at or the other place. Yeah, he doesn't say Ole Miss. Terrell Wild, what's up, Terrell Wild? Good morning. Michael Cook, Hey, Cody, good morning from Oklahoma City. Chance, Pennsylvania had 9 quarterbacks in the Super Bowl. Louisiana with 7 is third. Oh, okay. But, well, no, Bubby Brister, I don't think we're talking about backups. I think we're talking about who played. And Brister did play in the Super Bowl, and didn't he in 95? Oh, Stan Humphries would be the other one, right? Stan Humphries from Louisiana, right? Isn't because Stan Humphries was the quarterback for the Chargers in 94 when they lost to the Niners. Yeah, so Stan Humphries is from Shreveport, so that's one. And then I think Brister was the starter for the wasn't Brister the starter for the Steelers in 95 when they lost to the Cowboys? Nope, he wasn't. Brister was with the Jets in 95. Who's the quarterback for the Steelers? Oh, Neil O'Donnell. Neil O'Donnell was wasn't it Neil O'Donnell in 95 with the Steelers? Oh, it was Doug Williams. Probably the most famous. Well, it's not the Mannings and all, but like probably the most famous quarterback, of course, Doug Williams. That's the one I missed. So Doug Williams, Stan Humphries, and who did I say was the other one? Well, I'm missing one, right? Because I said, if you're just joining me, someone said that Louisiana has seven Louisianians who played in the Super Bowl. So I got Peyton and Eli, obviously Terry Bradshaw, David Woodley, Jake Delhomme. I hit those 5. So then Stan Humphries and Doug Williams would be the 7. Do you think Kiffin will have a different demeanor and pressers at LSU from Ole Miss? I don't know. I didn't cover him at Ole Miss, so I don't really know. Yeah, okay. Let's see, Doug. Vigo, what's up? Kerry Carter, good morning. Colson, what's good, man? Let's see, what the heck is Super Bowl car wash and where can I get one? What the heck is the Super Bowl car wash? Well, a car wash, I think you know this, but a car wash is what they refer to as like when they bring someone through Media Row just to do a whole bunch of hits. And it's like the analogy is a car wash, because a car wash you go through and you get hit from all different sides, right? There's brushes on the front, top side. So like if you go do the ESPN car wash, you go and you do Sports Center and you do ESPN Radio and you do NFL Live and you do all the shows, right? So it's the same thing here at Super Bowl. You come in and you have a 2-hour schedule and you hit a bunch of different interviews. They call it a car wash. Matt, how can the NCAA get around the TRO? I don't know that they can, but they could certainly make a team ineligible. Like if they deem a player ineligible and he plays, they could make him vacate wins or championships, stuff like that. A lot of roofing opportunities in the Bay Area. I wouldn't be opposed at Parish, San Francisco, Parish, Sausalito. That's the part where Lane said a guy went to jail. Who is he talking? What was he talking about? I would need to go back and check. I don't know what that discrepancy is. I'll go check and cross-reference it. I wonder, I will need to go check. I wonder if it's like maybe some of the late ads, like Traylon James from Southern or Tyree Holloway from I think West Florida. Let's see maybe how they classify some of those. But hey, Michael, good morning. Morning. Did you get an interview with the Polar Bear? How does San Francisco feel as Super Bowl city? Listen, this is not a New Orleans or Louisiana bias. Everybody says the same thing. Like New Orleans is the best place because of the central location. I mean, there's so much to do in New Orleans, right? You have hotels and restaurants and bars and clubs and all the sort of things that are appealing, but it's all walkable. So it's like New Orleans is the best host city because they have plenty of hotels, all within, like, for example, Sharif. I ran into Sharif. He's here because tonight's NFL honors. So So they're here for Drew Brees, right? Sharif is staying in Berkeley. Like, imagine if you were covering a Super Bowl in New Orleans, but you had to get a hotel in Baton Rouge. Like, that's or a hotel in Gonzales. Like, that's not convenient. New Orleans has enough hotel rooms in the downtown and CBD area um, that are walkable to every venue. Just really easy, man. And then it's New Orleans. You got great restaurants and nightlife and all the things you'd want. Hey, Chris, did you see Clay Travis? I have not seen Clay Travis yet. That's right. We didn't have Clay on last year. Yep. Hey, Greg, good morning. Our schedule is so much fun this year. Probably choosing Clemson and Texas home games. Those would be two good ones. Hey, David, good morning. Daniel, can you go into detail what went wrong with Brad Davis? I thought he was supposed to be a great hire. You know, I think throughout his tenure, Brad Davis had a lot of success. I think about when he got here, when Kelly got here in 2022, and you were starting two freshman offensive tackles, and he didn't have a center. Remember, you're playing Dellinger at center in that initial game against Florida State. I think those guys really grew and gelled and developed very well together. And I think Brad Davis deserves a lot of credit for that. I wonder if maybe at a combination of some misevaluation, maybe scheme, which didn't necessarily benefit the skill set of your offensive line. That's part of it. I mean, we've used an example before, but look at Ole Miss this year. Like, Ole Miss doesn't have an offensive line that's going to go like have four guys drafted like LSU did last year. But they played really well. How much of that was Chambliss compensating? How much of that was just a good scheme that that held up? I don't know. I think it's all. I don't think it's one thing. I think it's a combination of a lot of things. Hey, Deborah. Good morning. Reginald. Good morning, Matt. Saw your interview on Movie Media. Interesting start to your career. Keep doing what you're doing. I think I will. Thank you. Thanks for watching. That was a fun convo. It was a fun chat. Hey, Anthony. Good morning. Yeah, Doug talked about that. Is DeMario Davis arm sleeve custom made? Like, you can't purchase the item? Yeah, I don't think you can purchase it. I mean, it's Sleeves is the, if you know that brand. Sleeves is the brand. But I even told him, I'm like, look, man, I'm not begging, I'm buying. Just tell me where I can order it, And then his wife had these in her purse. So he called her over. He's like, hey, give me the. She's like, oh, the gifts. So she pulled these out of her purse. I mean, that's awesome, dude. That is so cool. So I put it on. I don't know if you were watching. I put it on over my shirt. It was great. I took off my jacket and put the arm sleeve on. 400K greater than 20K. Oh, you're talking about, I guess, Oxford. Interviews are great. Thank you, man. Appreciate it, Rocco. Who's a guy you follow for peptide info? I'm looking to try them. So Gary Brecka is who I found 2 years ago. I started on my health journey, and he talks a lot about peptides. So you can search Gary Brecka, Brecka, Gary Brecka peptides, and you can find a lot of info there. My recommendation would be, so my sponsor of our show is Goodwood Men's Clinic, and they sell peptides. So you can talk to Gabe over there at Goodwood, who Gabe Guerrero, who sorry, one second, y'all, who can give you all the info that you need about the different peptides they have, so you can answer your questions. Like, that would be my recommendation, is to go watch videos and learn for sure. But call over, set up a consultation with Gabe over at Goodwood, even if it's a phone, if you're not in Baton Rouge, phone consultation, because they can ship your supplements to you. Morning, Matt. Chance Underwood could transfer to LSU. I guess there's always a chance. I don't think it's likely. I mean, he's agreed to return to Michigan this year, and LSU's got Levitt, and then you got Husan Longstreet as well. So, and then Landon Clark. So, I would think probably not. Um, if they went to a 2014 playoff, what would be your thinking how they would format it? I guess you'd have to have two teams with a bye, right? You'd give two teams a bye, and so then you'd go 20, you'd pare it down to no 22, you pare it down to 11 winners. Three teams with a bye. I don't y'all know I'm bad at math. But I think you would have first round buys, which would advance, or would it be 24? You have to get to 20, and so then you have 16 winners in the four, right? That have a bye. Is that right? Sam Joe Bear. Good morning, Sam. How's your golf game? Non-existent, man. Haven't played a round of golf in years, unfortunately. GL comment was a reference to Daugherty situation from Clemson. I need to go back and listen to it. Candidly, I didn't hear the entire press conference because Lane was doing the press conference while I was on Radio Row doing interviews. So Musso chopped it, and so I got the 10 or so clips he sent me, but I haven't just sat down and listened to the whole thing in bulk. Pat, good morning from Breckenridge. Thank you, Pat. Stat Dub. You can tell that SIP wasn't Evermore. Stay strong. You're right. I'm doing what I can. I wish they had Evermore up here. They don't. Random question. I know you're a supporter of the benefits of peptides. What are your thoughts on the carnivore diet? Scott, I can tell you honestly, I don't know a lot about carnivore diet. Austin Kidder, who comments in here a lot, who I've known since we were like 7 years old, has done carnivore diet and swears by it. What I have been doing a lot more research on is keto, and I'm talking about like true keto, not fad keto. Like actually like pricking your finger and seeing what your ketone levels are in your body and stuff like true keto. And because there's a doctor who was on Diary of a CEO, if you're not familiar with that show, great podcast. Dr. Boz, Annette Bosworth is her name, Bosworth, and she's on. She got a YouTube channel, Dr. Boz, Boz. Fascinating when she talks about the benefits of keto. And she tells a story about her mom who was diagnosed with aggressive form of cancer, did chemo, wrecked her body, went into remission, cancer came back. Instead of going back and doing chemo again, she put her on a keto, like an intense keto diet. And the 6 weeks later, whatever it was, when she went back to the doctor, she did no chemo and her cancer had regressed like 75%. I mean, this is a medical doctor saying these things. So it's fascinating for me to go through. And I mean, she talks about things for Alzheimer's and for gut health issues. And so many issues that we all have. I just believe it originates in the gut. It's about having good gut health. And so our diets, eating processed food that isn't real food, is the genesis of so many of our issues, which causes inflammation, a lot of other things, which then creates the compounded effect. So I don't know a lot about carnivore diet, but check out Dr. Annette Bosworth, Dr. Boz, B-O-Z. Check her out. Check out her Instagram. Well, I guess she got Instagram too, but go check out her YouTube channel. And it's pretty fascinating. Kevin, how are you enjoying the Bay Area? Awesome. I love it here. I wish I had more time to get out and do stuff. But the good thing is my show ends at 4 here. So I still have daylight to go do. So went to dinner last night. I think I'm going to go to Scone tonight for dinner at the Wharf. I'll finish my show, drop my bag here, and go. Hey, Chance. Don't think JUCO kids count as portal ads. I mean, some of them did. I know, like, they added Adrian Lamb late, and so he was a 2026 counter, not part of the portal class, but they added, Jacoby Jones from JUCO, and he did count in the portal class. So, I don't know, I'll see if I can get clarification on that. Not that it really matters, but I guess the bottom line is it's the ads, right? Morning, welcome from a Louisiana native living in the Bay Area for 20 years. Love that. Hey, Daniel, Lane's jail comment about a guy connected to TJ Daugherty. Okay, I'll go catch up. I need to catch up on that clearly because there's something I missed in that presser. So, huge game, an awesome night for women's basketball, 4 versus 5. Already beat Texas once. Here's the rematch, and LSU's playing better now than they were then. Hey, Casey, good morning. Club, good morning. Gray, who's your favorite non-Saints player in NFL history? I mean, I don't know. I don't cheer for teams that aren't my team. I mean, I cheer for the LSU guys. I mean, Joe Burrow. I don't know. I mean, how about this? Pat Tillman. I have a Pat Tillman jersey. How about that? That's the list. Is a photo of the polar bear suit on your Instagram or Twitter? I think it's definitely on Twitter. It's not a photo, it's a video. I definitely put it on, I know I put it on Twitter. Let me see if I put it on my Instagram story. I didn't put it on my story. I need to add it to my, it's definitely on my Twitter. I didn't put it on Instagram. I'll add it to my Instagram too, but it's definitely on my Twitter. Whoops. Not sure why, but people, cameras following around a guy in a polar bear suit. Welcome to Radio Row. It's Super Bowl 60. That's the thing. Polar bear. Giant polar bear suit, too. All right, please smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, Facebook, like the page, share the post. How's your ping pong game? Daniel, my ping pong game, like, I'm pretty good at ping pong. I don't play a lot, and not that I ever, like, played all the time, but yeah, I like ping pong. I think I'm pretty good at it. I'm pretty good with hand-eye stuff. Fun Scone fact, his last golf game was when he was in Houston. That's not true. It's not my last golf game. But that was 2014. That was like the week before Drew was born. And after that, I didn't play for a year. I have played since then, but like the first year Drew was born, I didn't play a single round. But my back issues that I've had rotation, I slip discs, and that's where I have issues. So that's why it's hard for me to play golf. I don't know, man. Like, I'm feeling better. I'm feeling so much better with taking BPC 157. Like, I mean, knock on wood, like, I have not had a back issue in, I mean, when did I start my first BPC cycle? I mean, got to be getting close to a year. So, I mean, to not have a single back issue for a year, you know? So maybe I'll try again. Hey, Barry, thanks for what you do. Thank you, Barry. Appreciate it. Bradshaw, Scomas. Let's see, Solar Flare. All right, I think we're done. Y'all have a great day, man. Thanks for watching. Please smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, Facebook, like the page, share the post. As always, Thomas.
Parish Construction and Roofing. At Parish, we've got you covered. From the top of your roof, all the way down. Parish Construction and Roofing. Parish Built.
By the way, are you following Parish Construction and Roofing on social media? If not, you need to be. Gigantic announcement on Sunday. You'll notice we're doing, like, here's our little teases. But every day we're giving a little bit more info. Coming up every day, we're removing a little bit more of the shingles to reveal. Make sure you're following Parish Construction and Roofing on social media. Excited. Oh, look, now that the sun's up, give you a better view of, here's my view. So that's looking south. So that's going east. Anyway. So the Golden Gate and everything, the bay is over there, like over that way. Anyway. All right. Let's bounce. You'll have an awesome day. We'll see you from Radio Row. Locked on LSU's live. Check out Locked on LSU.